dress. It's a beach dress, but it is a very pretty color. It's a pretty color.
And what comes from the sky? Do you guys know? What falls from the sky? Precipitation. Very good. And is there another name for that? What is it? What is it? Rain. Okay. So we're going to create some precipitation here. And I'd like you to take your hands that you've got warmed up from clapping here, and you can make the sound of the raindrops as they first come. And then there's the wind. Hear the wind. And then it comes a little faster, the pitter-patter of the drops. And then it gets even louder. And then it gets softer again. And then it just kind of goes away. So. And you have here in Hawaiian, I am told, a phrase that is, when the heavens weep, the earth lives.
Aloha, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Honolulu. This is the first Sunday of our church year, and we seem to follow what used to be the school year, and some of us are still a little behind, I think, in changing. But here we strive to build the beloved community and boldly grow compassion, justice, and joy. It's good to be together, sharing our hearts with one another here in the building and on Zoom. Here, we are glad that you are here. My name is Catherine Graham. My pronouns are she, her, and I have the honor of being your worship associate today as we welcome our guest speaker, Reverend Lynne Scarpa. And thank you, Lynne, for being here and for your ministry today. And more about Lynne in a moment. At this time, I'd like to extend a special greeting to visitors and newcomers right here in the building and on Zoom, and to our keiki who are here this morning with us for this special service. So let me tell you a bit about our speaker this morning, Reverend Lynne. So she is going to be talking about water this morning, and it seems that this is something she knows something about. She holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Water Resources from Humboldt State University, and she held positions as Stormwater Manager for the City of Richmond and Public Outreach Coordinator for Stormwater Programs in the County of Marin before becoming Senior Scientist for a consultant firm assisting wastewater and stormwater programs throughout the San Francisco Bay Area. She currently lives with her wife and partner of 30 years in Port Richmond, California, overlooking San Francisco Bay. Her sons have commented that everywhere they have lived as a family, their home was adjacent to flowing water. Her volunteer work includes tending to injured animals at the Marin Mammal Center and teaching pollution prevention of waterways in both Egypt and the Philippines. She holds a strong belief that clean water is essential to healthy communities. Reverend Lynne holds a Master of Divinity from Pacific School of Religion. She was ordained by the Metropolitan Community Church, a denomination with a mission to minister within the LGBTQ+ community. After serving several churches, she retired last year from the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Marin as their Director of Family Ministry. And just a sideline, and Reverend Lynne, to let you know that we used to host MCC here at this church when they were very active in the 80s. She strongly believes that science and spirituality are each like the wings of a bird, that without both, one cannot soar in life. And so I introduce you to Reverend Lynne Scarpa. Come.
You all could join me up here. Yeah, and Coraline, yeah. And I want to see who would like to be Hihimanu, the stingray. Anybody, you want to try? And put your hand in there? Okay. And who would like to be Mano the shark? I've got a special role for you. Do you want to be a shark? No? Maybe? Okay. And I am going to let you be the turtle. And hold on. We're going to get to that in a moment. Can you stick your hand in there? You are going to be feather worms. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. You want to be the turtle or do you want to be the coral? You want to be the coral? Okay, so put your hand in the gloves. And when the coral speaks, you have to take one finger and wave it. And then in the other hand, you can hold the coral, okay? All right, so then I need my eel. Come on up. Laurel's going to pass these out. And I need Mary, do you want to be a great kohola the whale, or would you rather be a dolphin? Okay, Laura will give you one. Then, Ken, you want to come up and join us? And are we good, Laurel? Do we have for everyone now? Oh, we have one more. Can I have a member of the? Oh, no, we have one. Ken needs to come up and take the dolphin, the baby dolphin. There are two. So hold the second one behind you for a moment. It'll be the end of the story, and this is the front of the story. So just hold that one. And that one goes behind. You got it. Okay, can I have all my marine mammals and creatures out here? Come on over here. And Coraline, I need you to stand by me because you're really important and to follow through what we're going to do, okay? All right. So, this is a story of baby Honu. Can you hold up the turtle, the Honu? Can you hold it up high so they can see it on Zoom? Oh, we need to move you over here. Nope, we need to move you that way. There we go. All right, there's the Honu. All right, so baby Honu was in the ocean, and along swam Kokala. And baby Honu thought, well, I'm not big like Kokala. I wish I was, because I'm really shy, and I'm really cautious about things. But Kokala is big and can make things happen. So one day, the mother Nene, the dolphin, came and said that my baby is stranded on the beach and we can't get it off. And so, can you help? And the Honu said, oh, I'm just small and little, I can't help. But went over to the baby dolphin and tried to get it to come off the strand, the beach, but was unable because too small. So thought, well, I'll go see if I can get some help. So went to Koho and said, you are big and mighty. Can you get the baby dolphin off the strand? And Kohola said, I am big and mighty, but I'll not get the baby dolphin off the strand. That's just the way of the ocean. And off swam. And then Honu came to Mano, the shark, and said, Mano, you are fierce. You can do anything. Can you get the baby dolphin off the strand? And Mano held Mano up high and said, I may be fierce, but I am not going to help you get the baby dolphin off the strand. And off swam the shark. So then Honu went to Hihimanu and said, you are so fierce and you have a lightning swift tail. Can you trigger something to make the baby come off of the strand? And the stingray said, oh, I do have a tail that's quite like lightning, but I cannot get the baby off the strand. And off swam the stingray. So then Honu went to a friend, the pufferfish. That's okay, you can come too. And so the pufferfish, oh, we got to find the pufferfish. The pufferfish swimming over here. And said, oh, Kohala, can you please help me get the baby, the strand, the baby dolphin? You're so prickly, maybe you could trigger him and get him to wiggle off the strand. But the pufferfish said, no, it's the way of the ocean, and off swam the pufferfish. Oh, thought baby Honu, well, okay, there is one last one over here, which was Uhi eel, and I need my feather worms up here. And the eel lived in a cave with feather worms outside it, so maybe you can get your feather worms of the puhi. There you go. Right. And so, how are we doing? Can you see us? Honu said to Puhi, he said, you are amazing and interesting. Can't you get the baby dolphin off the strand? And the eel Puhi. There. And where's Puhi? The cave. And Honu wiggled its flippers really, really fast. Can you wiggle these really, really fast? Just laughing out of, bumped into the pufferfish, who puffed, and the pufferfish bumped, The pufferfish then bumped into Hihimanu, who took its tail and whipped it into the shark, and the shark then came over here. Kohola, we need you up here, all the way in front. And the shark went and into Kohola, who then was so surprised, jumped out of the water and made a big splash that then the baby dolphin came off of the strand with the big wave and came to be with Baby Honu realized that even though it was very small, it was very important, and that it could accomplish big things together in a community.
Can I get a picture of everybody?
Sure. All right, actors, stand up. We'll take a bow. Are you there? And turn around, Zephyr. That's the pufferfish.
Hold it there, sweetie.
You face this way.
Hold your characters up.
Stand right there. Might be easier for the photo. There we go. Can you hold the pufferfish up a little more? There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yay!
And then a big applause for our actors. Okay. Laurel, you want to the props? Yeah, let's put them back.
So good.
Oh, you're good. Okay. Do you want me to take your worms? Whoosh.
Thank you, everyone. That was
you.
a wonderful, wonderful theatrical production. Yes. Please stand and join us in singing Blue Boat Home.
Most. Okay. About 45 years ago, there was a woman conference, women from different denominations that were coming together to talk about women's ethics and theology and movement that was a shift in the early 80s. And at the beginning of that conference, several Unitarian women showed up to provide a ritual for them to see that they were all coming together, gathering their differences, and that they were still a part of a bigger whole. That evolved into a water communion because it was so meaningful that many of them brought back that ritual to their congregations, and other congregations heard about it from there. And congregations have a different way of celebrating water communion, and we're going to celebrate it a little bit differently, perhaps, and certainly differently than it was done 45 years ago. But we are going to honor the differences that are here in this community and have you each be a part. A song that is inspired by a Vietnamese poem says that, can we be like drops of water that are falling on the stone, splashing, breaking, dispersing in air, weaker than the stone by far, but we wear that as life goes on, the rock will wear away. And so we are going to do our joys and sorrows and meditation a little bit differently this morning. We're going to do it as a water communion. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you all to rise as you are able and to come forward in 2 lines behind each one of these punch bowls. And then to take a ladle of water and be thinking into it your joy or your sorrow, or your sorrow. Sometimes sorrows and joys are mixed together. And pour it into the main punch bowl. So I would ask you now to just quietly sit for a moment, and all of you take a deep breath. Can you all take a deep breath? Hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it, and then let it out. Feel your feet on the floor. And think to yourself of what you have brought here today. Is it a sparkling joy? Is it a sorrow? Is it a sorrow that has a bit of a joy in it, or a joy that has a bit of a sorrow in it? All that is fine. And if you need to speak that at some point, know that there is a book of life at the side of the congregation here, that you can write that down, and then the words will be read aloud later, and the congregation can hear it and hold it. But in the meantime, you can take your ladle of water, and as a joy, watch it splash into the bowl and hit the rock or the other water that's there, and feel that sparkle, that joy. And if you've brought a sorrow, you can let the water spill out of the ladle and let it pull that sorrow out of you a moment, and know that it's being held like in a community of something bigger than yourself, that your sorrow doesn't need to be alone. And with that, I would now ask you to rise as you are able and come form 2 lines on either side of this table. And we will sing slowly, Peace Like a River. Yeah, just come on.
Peace.
part of the service is a little longer than normal, or than maybe you all are used to. So I'm going to give you some ways that you can color some of those creatures that we had in the story, okay? That's so. As like I said, the song that you see in the order of service is not going to be sung, if I understand correctly. We're just remember that. Can we be like drops of water falling on the stone, splashing, breaking, dispersing in air, weaker than the stone by far, but beware, the rock will wear away. So you know that I have a love of water. All my life, I have loved water and the life that affirmingness that it gives. And those 40 years that I worked, starting as a hydrology tech high on the plateau of Utah, mapping out water sources, to working as a stormwater manager and consultant, helping almost all the cities around the San Francisco Bay stop the pollution that was coming from the urban runoff of stormwater into the bay. What you may not have gotten from what they read about me is I have a love of travel. And it's been that spark that when I travel to other places, that I see that people who appear to be very different than me in their culture and their ways, actually, there's some commonality that I have with them, and then things that I can learn from their perspective and ways of doing things. And so it was that after I had been working in water systems and wastewater systems and understood pumps and machinery, that I decided that I wanted to go to other communities that were less privileged than the ones that I was in and build water systems because water is life. Water is what allows you to thrive and to be healthy. And so with that, in my travels, especially in my studies in Guatemala and then my travels in Micronesia, learned that it was especially important to get women into this field because we needed to teach women who are often in the fields how to use the pumps and all. But in order to do that, I also knew that the most organized agencies to get that water system set up turned out to be Christian organizations. They were organized, they were efficient, and they had lots of funds. So I went to seminary for 1 year thinking I'm just going to shore myself up against Christianity because I had practiced Buddhism, I had been a member of a Jewish synagogue, I had even practiced as a Baha'i, which is a sect or evolved out of Islam. But I wanted to really understand how to speak and be within the Christian context. Well, while I was there was a black woman bishop named Leontine Kelly who preached. And she encouraged us, saying, you know, I know all of you out there, seminarians, you want to go out and do something big in the world. You want to go away and help other communities. But don't neglect the communities that you come from that are right here around you. Now, that year that I was in seminary was also when AIDS was raging in the lesbian and gay and bi, trans, queer plus community. And so she touched me, changed my direction, and I stayed and got the MDiv and ended up being ordained in the Metropolitan Community Church and serving congregations that were small and congregations that were large, huge. And in those congregations, I noticed that there were things about water that would help serve them because they all wanted to have people around them that were the same. And yet, like phases of water, there are many different ways that people experience spirituality or the sacred for them, or even community. So you might remember that water can be solid, like a snowflake, each one individual and unique. And it can be crystalline and big and powerful so that if it's in a pipe, it can burst to that pipe. If it's on rocks, it can break and crack those rocks. And if it is huge, like a glacier, it can actually carve out and move mountains. And then water can be liquid, like we saw today. And the liquid water can move us like flowing, like the rain we brought today, or imagined today. And the coming down off the hillsides, and actually over time creates beautiful rills in your landscape of your mountains, and can go out to the ocean and lap upon the shore or crash as waves into the vast, vast ocean. And then also, there is water everywhere present at any time, evaporated water that is always with us, even in the driest of deserts, I can tell you. But we don't necessarily connect to it because we forget that it's there. But we can see it in clouds when it kind of comes together a little bit. So how does that relate to what is in congregations? Well, I think people need that variety. They need something physical, like the solidness that is in those individual snowflakes all around them. They need a smile when they come. They need, perhaps as it is when it's appropriate, a hug. And they need also to gather together in groups and make movement, similar to that glacier that can actually move. Things can move, whether it's in the teaching of a class, or whether you're gathered, or a small group that does some deepening, or it can be in a social action that goes out to address some injustice, which is a part of your tarot leaf understanding here, that you strive for justice. And some of us, that's the one thing that we need most, or that we come for. And I think all of us need some sort of that. And then there is the fluid one, the one that we see here. And that is what moves inside us. And it can be in the stirring of music. It can be in the inspiration of a reading, or a story, or a sermon, if we're good enough. And it can be also quiet and still, like a pond, when you're in meditation or mindfulness and you reflect all that is around you, like a pond does. So how do you find that in our congregations? Well, like I said, it's in the music, it's in what we bring, it's in the ways that we inspire and feel that something more of us. And what about the dispersal in air, the moisture around us? Well, in Hawaiian, I was taught by a medicine woman that there's the a'amakua, that which is out there amongst us all the time. Some people know it from their traditions as creator or goddess, or, like they said in Star Wars, it can be the Force, may the Force be with you, kind of thing. It's something that's ever present And how do we then find that? How do we connect to that? And I would suggest to you it's one of your other leaves. It's the joy. And it might be the joy in seeing somebody who's brought an exquisite bouquet of flowers, and it just sparks something within you. Some of you, it may be that it is the symbols and the light. Maybe there's a zing when that chalice is lit. Many of you may find it when there's a ritual or a holiday, like when the candles are flickering. You may connect to something much bigger and more than yourself and the community. So I would invite you to remember these things, that people will come with their differences. And I know that within community there are times when we try to address a problem or an issue, and we seem to be coming at it like this. And I would encourage you in those times to start in a place of respect, in a place where you come to see the person who may have a different set of beliefs, who may have a different opinion than you do, or maybe has done something that you're like, oh, that you still see them with a sense of calm. Get yourself to the place of calm and being present to work and interact with them. And then I would invite you to listen to them before you launch into your own understanding. Because we find that research has shown us, and my experience in congregations have shown us, that if you listen deeply to someone and make a connection with them from your own story and share that with them first, that they're going to stop seeing you as other and start being able to be open to listening to you. When they find that you are similar or have similarities, when you have that connection. And that can be a lot of what breaks down some of the issues that come up when you find problems within your congregation. And so with that, I leave you with the understanding that there is a variety of wonderful individuals here that bring unique set of gifts and talents and skills, and that they all are needed to be here. And I also invite you to remember the different phases of water, that they are going to experience or want something from the community that may be more solid or more fluid or more ephemeral. And then I would ask that you come and remember to be respectful. And maybe that's as far as you can get. Just getting yourself to a place of calm before reacting to someone else. And if you can take it to the next step, ask questions. What brings you to that perspective or to that reaction? And then find a connection and share the connection first, before sharing what is on your heart that you may want to share with this wonderful individual who you hope will no longer see you as other, and you will no longer see them as other as well. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.
Thank you, Lynn. It's our custom here at First Unitarian Church to share our monthly non-pledge offerings with a group whose mission is in concert with our own. This month, we are supporting our sister church in Kaikan, Philippines. And here to tell us a bit about Kaikan is our own Nan Kleiber.
In 2003, our then minister, Mike Young, was traveling in the Philippines. He went to visit the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Philippines in Dumaguete, and then went out to visit a tiny, tiny village on the coast. he was also a water person. If he wasn't here, he was in the water. So he was in the water at Kaikan. And with the people at the Unitarian congregation of Kaikan, he made a partnership. This was the beginning of the partnership that we've had since then. So more than 20 years now, which is absolutely amazing. Kaikan is between a rock and a hard place. It's a tiny village. It is between the main road that goes north-south on the west coast of Negros Oriental. You'd think it would be the east coast, but it's the west coast. Go figure. And a seawall that has been crumbling ever since we've been involved with them. The amount of land in Kaikan is diminishing, moving from the seawall toward the road. And the church and the village are between those two things. Since 2003, we have been gathering money here to provide for some of the needs of this congregation in Kaikan. Sometimes it seems like we don't have much money. We don't have any idea what having that much money is like compared to the situation that they are in. We've raised money to build the seawall, and then we raised money to rebuild the seawall, and then we raised money to rebuild the seawall again, and then we raised money to have consultants go in and figure out with the government organizations what to do, and the seawall continues to crumble. The other thing that we have done over this 20 years, more than 20 years, is supported children in the congregation for schooling. And it's been a pretty consistent number. We usually have about 36 young people who are part of the congregation in Kaikan, who are participating in the congregation, whose parents are participating in the congregation, and they are provided a stipend by the church in Kaikan, and the money comes from us. And over the next month and a half, you will hear more about this, I'm sure. I will be here again. But I'm asking you to think about, and possibly this time, but certainly before the month is over, donate generously so we can support the compassion, justice, and joy, and social justice to support the people in Kaikan, especially the young people. Thank you.
So this is a great example of the water wearing away the stone, talking about that seawall. There are many ways to give. Put some cash in the calabash as it comes around. You can always send a check to the church and mark it, share the plate for September. Or you can scan the QR code on the screen to be directed to a secure giving page on our church's website, for those of you who can figure out how to do that. You can also give securely by text to the number on the screen. Encryption giving allows you to give to the Share the Plate program and also to make your pledge if you'd like. The offering will now be freely given and gratefully received. Your gifts help sustain the ministry of this church from within these walls and without as we build the beloved community. Thank you for your generosity.
And with that, I would say to all of you gathered here that may you go forth into this day, into this week, this month, renewed by what you have here, and that you return to also know this community that can hold you in this time. And we're thankful for your being here, and we look forward to your spark, the way that you share water, the water of life, throughout our communities.
And as we extinguish our chalice, I say, and I repeat, may we be like drops of water falling on the stone, splashing, breaking, dispersing in air, weaker than the stone by far, but beware, as time goes by, the rock will wear away. May we all be like drops of water. And before we disperse, like water, I have some announcements. We have the Book of Life. Thank you. Someone, and I don't know who this is, has written, "Please pray for me. On September 15th, I have a heart operation." So all our prayers go out. And someone else has written, "Please stop all the atrocities in Gaza." Okay, Francine Les says mahalo to Julia and Catherine for creating an informative and important social justice summer series. So thank you, Francine. Thank you. And additional mahalos for putting on the 2 barbecues. So that's to Juliet. Okay, great. And also Huxley, I have to try to read this. Huxley Hafner, who is 3 years old, beautiful, and trapped in a wheelchair and unable to feed herself, attends a Spanish immersion preschool. This week, I'm sorry, I can't read this, Teresa. She lit up the place with her smile as the other children greeted her and held her hands. So that's great news. Huxley is the granddaughter of Teresa and David Hafner. Thank you. That's wonderful news. Spanish. Wow. Okay, good. Okay, Carla has an announcement.
Good morning. I'm Carla Allison, and I'm here on behalf of Team Hope. And I'd first like to thank Reverend Lynne for your message, because your message slides right into what we're up to. I'm here representing Team Hope to invite you to our September workshops. And we are working on listening to connect and understand. So we're going to do this in 2 parts. The first part's in September, so that's what I'm talking about today. We typically have had about 40 people participating in all of our Hope for Us activities. And if you don't know about Hope for Us, it's okay. You don't need to know anything, because all are invited to join us for this. But we are going to break into 2 groups because of the kind of exercises and things we'll be doing in the workshop. So you can pick either September 21st or September 28th. It'll be here after the service, and we will have food. And if you need childcare, please let me know. We're really going to be working on building skills to help us understand each other when we disagree, which, does that happen sometimes? Whenever we have misunderstandings or just need to hear each other better. Also, these practices can be used to mend relationships. and really to move from any kind of conflict to possibility. So we'd like everyone to come. It's been a great turnout, all of our Hope for Us events, so we will hope, and I will be here. You can sign up today for whichever time, whichever date slot you need. And again, if childcare is needed, let me know. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, yesterday, 6 of us visited a homeless village, Kauhale, out by the airport. And it was a lovely, lovely experience. And this coming Thursday is another tour to a Kauhale over in Kaneohe by Windward Community College. And anyone who's interested and would like to see what the state is doing to help give homes, really, to some of our homeless population, this is a great opportunity to come visit. So let me know if you're interested. We can carpool from here, those of us on this side, or if you live on the Windward side, I can tell you where we can meet over there. Just let me know. Last winter, we began a monthly song circle on Friday evenings. We compiled song books with all kinds of wonderful folk songs and old rock and roll songs from the 60s and 70s, and great songs. And we have a couple guitars, and sometimes people come with ukuleles. One time someone came with a banjo. It's great fun. So if you like to sing and you find it really like that would be great. You find it, lifts your spirits and takes you out of the doldrums of our everyday news world. Come Friday evening, 6 o'clock. Bring snacks if you'd like, but not necessary. Just bring your enthusiasm. So it is Peg and Crystal over here, and Nan and Pierre, and a lot of choir members, and it's just really fun. So you're all invited. And last but not least, everyone is invited to come next door right after the service for hospitality, for some light refreshments and coffee. Coffee is important, and to get to know one another. So thanks everyone for being here on our opening Sunday. So I invite you to stand and take hands if you'd like to sing our closing hymn, Hawaii Aloha.